Hi guys. First of all, welcome to my channel. I know I've never done a video like this before, but as a strong byler, I feel like it's dark times out here and I want to provide some reassurance with like the little reassurance I can give. And I just want to say I feel like byler happening is like it's our chances are better than ever now, and a lot of people are doubting because of the coming out scene, but like you have to understand Will is an unreliable narrator because he only knows his half of the story, not Mike's other half. So hopefully in the finale we'll get to know Mike's other half, as well as why Will like said that he's his Tammy, because he's not his Tammy, bro. And I understand why people are freaking out and everything, because I did first it too, but then I rewatched it and I watched Mike's reaction to his coming out, and all my doubt was gone in a second. So if you have any doubt, I would say go rewatch. Definitely go rewatch Will's coming out scene and just pay attention to Mike, please. That's all I want you to do. And then I will be happy, I'll be fulfilled. You'll have no doubt, I'll have no doubt, we'll all have no doubt. So in this video, I'm gonna just try to get rid of your byler doubt because it shouldn't be there. Because I'm pretty confident that this is happening, and if it isn't, then just like genuinely, why? This is it would be the worst queer bait of the century, like of all time at this point. But I genuinely don't think it will be, because I feel like there's a reason that the last two episodes of Volume 2 were rushed and like felt incomplete, and I feel like the finale will like fix it up, hopefully, because I have too much stuff of the show. So like if it's bad, then it's just gonna be weird that I have the stuff. So I'm praying that it's good. Anyways, the Duffer brothers have confirmed that Mike knows Will likes him, or at least to Mike, he knows that he did like him at some point. So I feel like, because well, you saw or you've now seen how Mike reacted to Will's coming out. Like you could tell he was doing some serious critical thinking in that moment. He was like, "Hmm, oh, you liked a guy for years? Oh," and then he realized it was him. So hopefully he's gonna pull in volume. I mean, not volume. In the finale, the whole who's Tammy thing, because we know they're gonna have a lot of scenes together because of what Noah said about filming majority of the time with Finn and arriving months earlier, not even just a month, not even a few weeks, months earlier, just to have scenes with Finn. So we know they're gonna have a lot of scenes in the finale because they haven't so far. So hopefully they'll get to talk it out. Whatever happens, and I'm just gonna say it, they did not do the coming out scene justice as like I thought they would. Like I thought he was finally gonna have like a heart to heart moment with Joyce, Jonathan, Mike, and maybe the rest of the party. But like, did all of Hawkins really need to be there? Like, the whole cast and crew was there at that point. Like, and I understand why they did that to some degree, like how it could be used against him as leverage, like his huge secret and stuff. But like, did Collie really need to know? Did Murray really need to know? No, they didn't. They didn't. And I feel like it would have been more impactful and more like meaningful if it was just like a smaller group of people. And the script, it was oof. Noah's acting and Finn's acting really pulled that scene. No, not just them two. Like they were. I'm just saying them two because they were the main ones the scene was focused on, like in the close-ups and everything. But everybody's acting is what pulled the scene together, not the writing. So I'm hoping they have a reason that like those two episodes were like the worst written out of all of the show. Besides that season 2 episode, you know what I'm speaking of. Um, yeah. So hopefully that'll happen. But okay, anyway, back on track. I kind of got sidetracked. I'm sorry. I don't have a script or anything. I just want to get my thoughts out there. Anyways, hopefully they'll have like a reason to do that. In the finale, it'll all come together. And since the Duffer brothers have confirmed that Mike now knows Will has had or does still have. It depends on how he thinks. I mean, we still haven't gotten his POV. We haven't had Mike's POV for like the whole show. We really need to work on that, bro. Okay, hopefully Mike will ask who Tammy is, and what that means, and then he'll be like, I'm your Tammy. I'm that to you." Like, and Mike is not his Tammy, because Tammy was a hallway crush. She was a pretty face, and she was basically, I would say, essentially Robin's gay awakening. But that is not what Mike is to Will. Tammy, she didn't interact with Robin at all. Mike has been there since kindergarten. Kindergarten. So I know Mike is not Will's Tammy, but I do think that's not the part of the coming out scene that I disliked, because I like that they said, now I don't like, but it's it's smart that they put in the script that Will said that Mike is his Tammy, because that's from his point of view, because he thinks it's hopeless. So, and we know Will has always been an unreliable narrator. I love him so much. I love him dearly. He's one of my favorite characters, but he always has been. He doubts himself, and that interferes with his point of view. So, he's an unreliable narrator and has always been. And there's a lot of other reasons it's happening. I personally believe it will happen in the finale, because it has to. They're going to have a lot of scenes together. We all know this. And also, on top of that, the painting. Like, oh my god, they just let this bombshell sit there for like basically two whole seasons, because it was introduced at the beginning of season 4, and now it's the end of season 5. This has been on our shoulders since like for too long, for like what, 3 years. The bombshell of a painting has just been sitting there, and if like that's not brought up, but it will be, I know it'll be, because they've said it will be brought up and it will be a major plot point. If I'm not wrong, don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, please. um it will come back, I just know it, because like, and then in the van scene, I feel like those lies have to be confronted, from like how he said needed him, sorry. Elle needed him when it was actually Will needed him. So I feel like it'll be revisited too, if Mike brings up the painting to Will, or the other way around. However it happens, I'm not really sure about that. Another reason is just the build up. Like, they wouldn't build up their the suspense across 5 whole seasons just to have the main character move on from like the first love of his life, and probably the last, because let's be real, if Byler doesn't happen, Will is gonna stay single. And if he doesn't, and if he gets an epilogue boyfriend, I'm genuinely just, ugh, I'm not gonna be able to function. I'm gonna spontaneously combust, because it's just, that would ruin his whole character for me, to be honest. And Mike, Byler is now on Mike's shoulders, because Will is hopeless, and Mike is finally not oblivious to it. He finally knows, after 5 seasons, after 10 years, Mike finally knows that Will liked him, and he still likes him, but Mike doesn't know that part. So hopefully he puts more of the pieces together, because he has the puzzle and he's almost done with it. But like, just a few pieces are missing. That's how I view it, if that makes sense. Cause like, it's all there in his head. He just needs to act on it, bro. The fate of Byler rests in Mike Queeler's hands, bro. Homotron 37,000. It rests in his hands. So that's rough. That's really, really, really rough. But I still have confidence that it will happen. Another thing is, I know this is like brought up so much, but this is a show for outcasts, made by outcasts, to uplift outcasts. So do you think they would give the main outcast, which is Will, an ending where he isn't completely happy and satisfied. Have satisfied mentioned. Also, that's another thing. Noah said you'll be happy and then cut off to satisfied. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not feeling very happy or satisfied with that. So I feel like they're really gonna build off of that because Will has always been one to doubt himself. He's always doubted himself because I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't doubt themselves in that situation? You're a little gay boy in the 1980s who had a homophobic father who called you slurs like for half of your life and abused you. I would doubt myself too. Like, I feel so bad for Will. And then I can't with these fake Will fans that switched up on him just cuz he can Vecna's power now. Siphon Vecna's power now and just cuz he got a better haircut. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Anyways. So, another way I feel like Byler could be brought up is how Will's final push, like the only reason he came out to everyone as a group was that it could be used as leverage against him, like how Vecna could like force him out of the closet to like any of those characters and it could affect him like mentally or whatever. Couldn't who he liked also be used as leverage? So couldn't he also be forced to tell Mike and then it come up like that way? I feel like that's another big possibility. And if that does happen, I would be happy. But personally, I would prefer the Tammy thing because Mike, I don't know what happened with the second volume, bro. Like, episode 5 was great, but then, like, after that, Mike just, he disappeared. He was there, but, like, not there mentally, apparently. Like, he had barely any dialogue, barely anything. Like, he was just, he, he vanished. He just wasn't there. I don't know what happened with that. And also, it would be a better story like than the love triangle just being completely discarded. Like, imagine there's build up between a straight couple for the first 2 seasons. I'm gonna say 2 because it all goes rolling downhill in 3. And then as the straight couple goes downhill, the gay ship, it has more build up and more build up. And then all of a sudden, the main gay character just says that he's over him. And we all know he's not over him. Less than a week ago, he was fawning over Mike. He did that little push outside of the tunnel, bro. Bro was down bad for Mike, and he still is. You cannot convince me otherwise. He will never be fully over Mike. And that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. And also, if Mike doesn't have anything more than platonic feelings towards Will, then he was just an asshole towards him towards Will and Elle for majority of season 3 and 4. Like, that would just be for no reason. And there's always a reason behind something in everything in life and TV shows and books. There's always a reason behind something, especially in this show. We know the Duffers are great writers, so there has to be a reason why the coming out scene was butchered so horribly. There has to be a reason. And also, like, can we just talk about like all the glances Mike gives Will throughout like the first 4 seasons, like just those alone? And I know season 1 like doesn't have a lot because like they have like 2 scenes together. That's because he was missing. So like I'm not really gonna count season 1. But like, can we just talk about how Mike always stares at Will's lips? Like, I don't do that to my friends, bro. Last time I checked, I do not stare. I do not stare at my friend's lips. I don't stare at my friend's lips. Also, all of the parallels. Okay, there was constant parallels between Rocky, which is Robin and Vicky, and Byler. Like, and one of those is a canon couple now. Rocky's canon, and it's been there was build up for 1 season, then they got together. So if there's 1 season of build up for one queer couple and there's 4 to 5 seasons of build up for the other one, and there's all these parallels, something's gonna happen. And one thing that I've seen nobody talk about this besides like one person. I forgot who they are, but if you like watch this, you'll know who you are. I saw one person, you know, the scene, I think it's in episode 7, where Hopper and Joyce are walking the exact same path that Will and Mike did in episode 4. I believe it's episode 4. Please don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. I'm not good at timelines. And it was like, besides the dialogue, obviously, it was a perfect parallel. I've never seen a parallel that spot on. Like, the camera shot was the same, the positioning of them was the same. They were standing in the exact same order. And you know who's a canon couple? Jopper. Jopper's a canon couple, and they had a parallel with a ship. So it's very obvious that they're gonna get together. Also, another thing is, while I'm kind of sad about the Jancy breakup, I do believe it was the best thing for both characters because they've always had like their own sense of independence. I feel like that's just more of a setup for Byler because it would be kind of weird if like they like Jancy got married and then they would be like brother-in-laws and then they would also be dating. That'd be kind of weird. So I feel like that's just more of a setup. And I know that doesn't really have a lot behind it, but I feel like that would help it. That would help it. And I'm just gonna wrap it up. If y'all want a part 2, please let me know because I have more discussion points. This was just low key all over the place because I just wanted to get my thoughts out over there. I'm just gonna say one final thing. Mike and Elle's interactions have been completely platonic. Like there's been no kissing. The most they've done is hug, and they haven't had a lot of interactions. Mike and Will have honestly had more interactions throughout the whole season. I'm not just counting volume 2 because volume 1 it was heavy on Byler, and then volume 2 was like nah, we're gonna throw you off track. Like I find that a little heartbreaking, but it'll be okay. I swear. So like if Mike and Elle aren't together, then there's nothing standing in the way of Byler happening. Is what I'm trying to say, and that I'm gonna leave it on that note. If y'all want me to go into more depth about it, even though this is like a 20-minute video, I'm so sorry about that. If y'all want me to go in more depth about certain points, please let me know. I hope y'all have a good day, and I hope your Byler doubt is cured. If it isn't, let me know. I will try again. Bye. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at outros. I've never done one.